All right, welcome to Rev 5. My name is Shane, and today we're going to be asking the question, do machines dream of electric sheep? So what I want to do is I just wanted to show a couple of clips here, and we're going to talk about this in this video. But I thought it was important to show you a video clip from one of our favorite Terminators, and that is none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I have a couple of clips from a couple of different cyborgs, if you will. So this is Cyborg 1. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, in Terminator 3. So I'm just going to play a little clip, and then we're going to have a little conversation about this. So 1 second here. Let me just cue this up. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. All right, this is a cool scene here. So let me just throw this up here, like so.
There's plane. I trained on it.
Yes. You made it.
Get away from me! Please! Now!
Let's go, John. The master's on.
Come on.
Throttle's set.
Come on, let's go. Please. You can't do this.
I have no choice. The TX has corrupted my system.
You can't kill a human being. You said so yourself.
Let him go.
Wait. You're fighting it right now.
My CPU is intact, but I cannot control my other functions.
You don't have to do this. You don't want to do this.
Desire is irrelevant. I am a machine.
What is your mission?
To ensure the survival of John Connor and Catherine Brewster.
You are about to fail that mission.
I cannot.
You know what you have to do. You know my destiny. I have to live.
Anger issues. Whoa, wow. Calm down, crazy. So that's an example of what happens when you depend just a little bit too much on a T850. I would say that's a no-go zone. So the next time you're interested in going out and purchasing a T850, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it based on this scene here. Okay, so we're going to go to another clip. And we're talking about what happens basically when these machines go bad. And that's why the reason why I named this video "Do Machines Dream of Electric Sheep" is it's from a movie called Blade Runner. starring Harrison Ford. And the idea about it was basically they sent a bunch of humans off the planet because there was some kind of a disease that happened on Earth. And they sent a bunch of humans, and then they had replicants or humanoid humans that stayed behind, and some of them actually rebelled against their programming and all kinds of stuff. And it was very hard to tell them apart from a human and from a machine. So then Deckard, which was played by Harrison Ford, would go out and try and take out these androids because they were too human and they just wanted their freedom. They were going against their programming. So I'm going to show another scene here of another cyborg that goes by the name of, see if I can find it here. This is a real life cyborg though. This is this cyborg is, some people call him Elon Musk. So he was on Joe Rogan. So there's a cuss word, and I'm going to try and pause it just before the cuss word because there's a little tiny cuss word in here. And then I'm going to just fast forward it a bit. But it's interesting. I think this is important to understand. This was 10 years ago that Elon was interviewed by Joe Rogan, where basically something happened in the world of Elon Musk where all of a sudden he becomes a little bit more fatalistic. So let's just watch.
Are you honestly, legitimately concerned about this? Is like AI one of your main worries in regards to the future?
Yes. It's less of a worry than it used to be, mostly due to taking more of a fatalistic attitude.
So you used to have more hope, and you gave up some of it, and now you don't worry as much about AI.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, yes.
What-
Yes, no, but no, it's not necessarily bad. It's definitely going to be outside of human control.
Not necessarily bad, right?
Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. It's just outside of human control. Now, the thing that's going to be tricky here is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon.
All right, and I'm going to interject every once in a while because this is important. So Elon Musk has gone on record to say that it's going to be very tempting for a person to use AI as a bit of a weapon. That should be red flags everywhere to just say, okay, thank you for that. And we are stopping, full stop. We are stopping this program. We're stopping it. So let's just continue. Let's continue. I think this is important.
It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon.
Again, interesting that he says that it will be used as a weapon. This is 9 years ago, folks.
So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger. Yeah.
How far do you think we are from something that can make its own mind up, whether or not something's ethically or morally correct, or whether or not it wants to do something, or whether or not it wants to improve itself, or whether or not it wants to protect itself from people or from other AI? How far away are we from something that's really, truly sentient?
Well, I mean, you could argue that any group of people, like a company, is essentially a cybernetic collective of people and machines. That's what a company is. And then there's different levels of complexity in the way these companies are formed. And then there's this sort of like a collective AI in in the Google sort of search, Google search, where we're all sort of plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree. And we're all feeding this network with our questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI, and and Google plus all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these social networks. They're giant cybernetic collectives.
Humans and electronics all interfacing and constantly connected.
Yes. Constantly.
One of the things that I've been thinking about a lot over the last few years is that one of the things that drives a lot of people crazy is how many people are obsessed with materialism and getting the latest, greatest thing. And I wonder how much of that is, well, a lot of it is most certainly fueling technology and innovation. And it almost seems like it's built into us. It's like what we like and what we want, that we're fueling this thing that's constantly around us all the time. And it doesn't seem possible that people are going to pump the brakes. It doesn't seem possible at this stage where we're constantly expecting the newest cell phone, the latest Tesla update, the newest MacBook Pro. Everything has to be newer and better. And that's going to lead to some incredible point. And it seems like it's built into us. It almost seems like it's an instinct that we're working towards this, that we like it.
Mm-hmm.
That our job, just like the ants build the anthill, our job is to somehow or another fuel this.
I made this comment some years ago, but it feels like we are the biological bootloader for AI, effectively. We are building it. And then we're building progressively greater intelligence. And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. But the AI is informed, strangely, by the human limbic system. It is, in large part, our id writ large.
How so?
Well, you mentioned all those things, the sort of primal drives.
Mm-hmm.
There's all the things that we like and hate and fear. They're all there on the internet. They're a projection of our limbic system. It's true.
No, it makes sense. And the thinking of it as thinking of corporations and just thinking of just human beings communicating online through these social media networks as some sort of an organism it's a cyborg. It's a combination. It's a combination of electronics and biology.
Yeah.
Does this
In some measure, like it's the success of these online systems is sort of a function of how much limbic resonance they're able to achieve with people. The more limbic resonance, the more engagement.
Whereas, like, one of the reasons why probably Instagram is more enticing than Twitter.
Limbic resonance.
Yeah, you get.
All right, that's interesting. So Elon is interested in Twitter because of its limbic resonance, basically meaning that if you could mimic human behaviors with artificial intelligence, you will gather more intel, more information. But if you make it less like a human, you're not going to get more information from us humans because we will want to turn you off. We will want to shut you down, cut the cables, shut you off, throw you into a garbage dump. Done. But if we can make artificial intelligence a little bit more like us, again, this is so much like Revelation 13, that you have a false prophet that is going to design an image that comes to life and demands that people worship not only it, but worship the beast and also worship the dragon, which is the devil, the Antichrist. or sorry, the dragon is the devil. That's the job of this computer program. And I've mentioned this in Latin. The root word of computer is there used for compute, like compute the number of his name. And we get the Latin word for computer in Latin based on Revelation 13. And then you also get caricature, basically. Character. This is where we get character. So if you get a computer character and you put those two together, you now have a character that is made out of a computer. And this is where you get artificial intelligence. But that's not the scary part. We're just getting to the scary part, what Elon is talking about here. So let's just watch.
More images, more video,
Yes.
tweaking your system more.
Yes.
Do you worry about or wonder, in fact, about what the next step is? I mean, a lot of people didn't see Twitter coming, that, you know, communicate with 140 characters or 280 now would be a thing that people would be interested in. Like, it's going to excel. It's going to become more connected to us, right?
Yes. Things are getting more and more connected. They're at this point constrained by bandwidth. Our input-output is slow, particularly output. Output got worse with thumbs. You know, we used to have input with 10 fingers. Now we have thumbs. But images are also they're a way of communicating at high bandwidth. You take pictures and you send pictures to people. That communicates far more information than you can communicate with your thumbs.
So what happened with you where you decided, or you took on a more fatalistic attitude? Like, what was there any specific thing, or was it just the inevitability of our future?
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile.
I'm just going to skip here real quick. This is futile. Doesn't that sound like a machine?
Me out. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened.
No one. Are people more inclined to listen today? It seems like an issue that's brought up more often over the last few years than it was maybe 5-10 years ago. It seemed like science fiction.
Maybe they will. So far, they haven't. I think people don't like normally the way that regulations work. It's very slow indeed. So usually there'll be some new technology. It will cause damage or death. There will be an outcry. There will be an investigation. Years will pass. There will be some sort of insight committee. There will be rulemaking. Then there will be oversight, eventually regulations. This all takes many years. This is the normal course of things. If you look at, say, automotive regulations, how long did it take for seatbelts to be implemented, to be required? You know, the auto industry fought seatbelts, I think, for more than a decade. Successfully fought any regulations on seatbelts, even though the numbers were extremely obvious. If you had a seatbelt on, you would be far less likely to die or be seriously injured. It was unequivocal. And the industry fought this for years successfully. Eventually, after many, many people died, regulators insisted on seatbelts. This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.
Huh. It's too late. It's interesting that he says it's irrelevant for AI. No matter how you slice it, you'll come across other YouTube channels that are trying to weigh the odds, or trying to say, is it, like, we can control this thing, we can't control it. But really, when you think about it, they'll use comparisons. They'll throw out examples like, you know what, like, really only like 8,500 people die a day in vehicle car crashes. We're not going to remove the cars. That's silly. Out of like 4 or 5 billion people, that's not very much. 8,000 people dying a day because of a car crash. And I don't know if those stats are accurate. I'm just throwing it out there. But the point is people like this guy, Elon Musk, whenever he asks them questions like this, he sounds so much like a robot. Like it's just crazy. It's like it's futile. It's useless to resist. I am a robot. I like he doesn't even try and fight it now. He's not even trying to fight for humanity. Instead, he's trying to he's all in on Neuralink, and he bought Twitter and changed the name to X, probably named it after his son. X, what's his son's name? X Ash something. I don't know. 12. That's the name of his son. So now he's working on XAI, and he's buying thousands, not dozens, not hundreds, but thousands of H100 chips from NVIDIA, which these are no slouch. These GPUs or whatever they are, they're amazing. Like the processing speed and everything that these H100 chips have. He's buying thousands of them, and he's moving them away from Giga Texas, and he's moving them to X. So you create his own version of a supercomputer. He's all in. And he has a fatalistic approach saying, I tried to warn you guys. You didn't take me seriously, so now I'm going to show you why I was right. Now, he may not have said it like that, to be fair to him. But he did not say it that he wouldn't do that. All he said is, I tried to warn you guys, and now I have a fatalistic approach, which means humanity is doomed according to him. So why not dive into it? Why, like, to me, if you are so concerned about humanity, you would push the regulators to say no. But he saw an opening that there was a chance to make a little bit of cheddar, and he took it. I don't want to be that guy that said that he sold his soul for this, but if you see the writing on the wall and you're like, yeah, this is bad, people are most likely going to use it as a weapon against each other. And I'm sick and tired of warning people. So instead, I'm going to create the world's first supercomputer, and I'm going to teach you humans a lesson. What else can you take from this? That he's a knight in shining armor? I don't think so. I think this is terrifying. Let me just play one more clip here. Let me find it real quick here. See if I can find it. All right, here.
Singularity University is TED on steroids.
All right, so let's just watch this quick little video clip, and then we'll come back. So this is Elon Musk. Where is he? Talking about lacks of AI oversight is insane, and says it's more dangerous than nukes.
This tends to plague smart people. They just can't. They define themselves by their intelligence, and they don't like the idea that a machine could be way smarter than them. So they discount the idea, which is fundamentally flawed. That's the wishful thinking situation. I'm really quite close to. I'm very close to the cutting edge in AI, and it scares the hell out of me. It's capable of vastly more than almost anyone knows. and the rate of improvement is exponential. I'm not normally an advocate of regulation and oversight. I mean, I think one should generally err on the side of minimizing those things. But this is a case where you have a very serious danger to the public. And so therefore, there needs to be a public body that has insight and then oversight on to confirm that everyone is developing AI safely. This is extremely important. I think the danger of AI is much greater than the danger of nuclear warheads by a lot. And nobody would suggest that we allow anyone to just build nuclear warheads if they want. That would be insane. And mark my words, AI is far more dangerous than nukes. Far. So why do we have no regulatory oversight? This is insane. If humanity collectively decides that creating digital superintelligence is the right move, then we should do so very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. This is the most important thing that we could possibly do. And anyone who, for the early people that go to Mars, it'll be far more dangerous. I mean, really, it kind of reads like Shackleton's ad for Antarctic explorers. You know, it's like difficult, dangerous, good chance you'll die. Excitement for those who survive. That kind of thing. A BFR flight will actually cost less than our Falcon 1 flight did back in the day. Wow. So that was about a $5 or $6 million marginal cost per flight.
All right. And he just talks about a little bit more about his business, but there you go. So again, if it was up to me, I would say shut it all down. Shut it all down. Don't need it. Don't need it. Don't need to do any more research on artificial intelligence. Let's just roll back the calendar, and we don't need it. But like Elon said, it's too late. People are going to create something that they want to worship, and it's going to go very bad. And we just have to read the book of Revelation to see it. And I've been making videos about this, saying that artificial intelligence is all over the book of Revelation. You can't help but see it when you hear people, actors like Elon Musk, talking about the seriousness of AI, and yet he's at the forefront, and he probably will take over the lead, come up with the world's first supercomputer that's going to be beyond anything that we can ever imagine, most likely by the fall. iPhone is launching iPhone 18 that's going to incorporate OpenAI, which has created ChatGPT, and Elon Musk was one of the creators, along with 5 other guys, so 6 of them created ChatGPT, created OpenAI, I should say, and then ChatGPT was created, and now iPhone is integrating it into their system, if you will. And then we have Google investing heavily into artificial intelligence. You have the metaverse. You have Zuckerberg investing heavily into artificial intelligence. And if you think about it, you got these billionaires. And if you picture in the book of Revelation, it talks about the beast having seven heads and basically 10 horns. And I believe that those 10 horns are kingdoms that don't have real estate, don't have territory, but they're very powerful. And I think we're talking about 10 companies that are heavily invested into artificial intelligence. Just pick the top 10 companies, and they're going to be the ones that are ushering this stuff in. And remember that the devil gives his seat, his authority, to one of these new kingdoms, if you will, because again, there's 7 heads. So you had the first kingdom was Egypt. Then you had the Assyrians. Then you had the Babylonians. Then you had the Persians. And then you had the Greeks. And then you had the Romans. And at the time of writing the book of Revelation, John was talking about Rome. But he says there's going to be one more coming, according to Daniel. And that seventh is going to be a revitalized Rome, but it's going to be different because it's going to have all seven incorporated. All seven of these countries. And then you have 10 companies, billionaires that own these $1 trillion companies, 10 of them, that are investing heavily in artificial intelligence. And you have one guy that's creating the world's first supercomputer. So if you don't think this is ramping up real quick, that you can get to a point where once this computer is created and it could process things quickly, including bank accounts, all this kind of stuff, it wouldn't take very long to basically create a system where you can't buy or sell anything unless you pay your allegiance to this character, this computer character. So that's coming down the pipes. I'd be surprised if it was here a year from now. I think we're, not to promote doom and gloom and that kind of stuff, but it just feels like that the technology is ramping up. It can't sustain this level for very long before all of a sudden you're going to get artificial intelligence that's way smarter than us. And I'm talking about programs and all this kind of stuff that will think for us, all this kind of stuff. We're very close. We're very close. And I've never seen things ramp up in the last 2 years like I've seen right now. And this is why I decided to move my channel, where every once in a while I'm going to make more videos about artificial intelligence, different companies, different players, different actors, so that you can get an insight as to what's really going on behind the scenes and from their own words. You don't have to make this stuff up. And then we're also talking about computers hallucinating, like ChatGPT, lying. Half the time it's incorrect with its information. 52% of the time, ChatGPT is wrong. So imagine if you're trusting it with your vehicle, directions, whatever, recipes. If it doesn't know, it'll make up an answer that will sound legit. And then you put that ingredient into your recipe and all of a sudden you're poisoned. Are you going to arrest ChatGPT? No, it's your fault. It's your fault. So this is what's going on. And Elon hinted at that, saying there's going to be mistakes made. Artificial intelligence is going to kill more people accidentally until you get regulators involved, and then it's too late. You can't get the regulators because it'll self-regulate itself. That would be kind of the next step. So anyways, I hope you got something out of this. Hope this was of interest to you. If it is, then feel free to subscribe to this channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.